Hey traders, it's Brandon from Amphibian Trading. In this video, I'm going to be going over TradingView's new Stock Screener 2.0. I'm going to share a few screens I created that I think do a really good job of finding high quality growth stocks and canslim type names. And then I'm going to show you how I quickly go through them to find ones that are meeting my setup criteria. Now, before we do that, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and then we're going to jump right into it. Okay, so to get started, very simple. From TradingView's homepage, you're going to go to Products, Screeners, and then select Stock 2.0. That's going to bring up the screener, and now we're going to go through some of these screens I've created, how to use them, and I'll show you how you can replicate them. Okay, so there's 13,766 symbols to start. I'm going to screen this in the US markets. You can change that to any other market around the world. You just click up here where it says market, and you can select the market you want to use. Now, I'm going to go ahead and load a screen that I've already made. I'll show you how you can duplicate it. But you can see it drops this down to 60 symbols now in our screen. And there's some high quality names here. We see CrowdStrike, others like NVIDIA, I think Shopify here. So this really does a good job of narrowing down and finding some good quality names. These are the parameters that I'm using here. I have a market cap of 2 billion or more, revenue growth for the trailing 12 months of 30% or higher, free cash flow margin of greater than 0%. It's a primary listing, and I have price above a 200 simple moving average. So how do we get there? You can add different filters right here using this plus button. It's going to bring up different criteria through here. However, I tend to just search for what I'm looking for. So the first one we have is a market cap of 2 billion or more. This one, they have some already pre-built settings in here. So this one I just clicked 2 billion and above. If you wanted to though, you can go down to any of these settings and hit custom, and then you can create your own. So for the market cap, I went with 2 billion and above just by clicking this here out of their pre-selected options. Next, for the revenue growth, this one I went into the custom. I'm going to select trailing 12 months year over year above, and then I typed in 30%. For the free cash flow margin, I just went with one of their pre-selected options again, above 0%. Primary listing, I put yes, and then for this one, for the price above the 200 SMA, I'll show you how we do that. You go into custom, above or equal. Here you can select different criterias. So I went with an SMA, changed this to 200, and we want it on the daily. And that's going to narrow this down and give you a nice list of stocks. Now, if you need help finding any of those when you're in this plus button, again, you can type. So if I typed in market cap, that's going to bring that up, and now I can go ahead and select it. Since I already have that, I don't need it. So if this filter is blue, that means it's being used. If I add something, let's just do beta, you can see that it's kind of gray, whited out. That means that's not being used in this screen. So once I have this first list, I go ahead and I'm going to select all just by holding shift as I click. I'm going to hit add to watch list. I'm going to create a new list, screens, save, and now you can see all those names are added into that list. From there, I'll go to my next screen, which is going to be a revenue growth one. So this one only has 13 names in it. You can see my filters here. I have a price over $10, market cap again above 2 billion, and here I'm looking for 100% revenue growth quarterly year over year. So if I go into custom, instead of the trailing 12 months, I'm going to switch down here to quarterly year over year, and I'm looking for 100% growth. And then I selected an average volume of 500,000 shares over the last 30 days, and once again, price over that 200 SMA. So again, you can select them all and add them to the watch list. From there, we'll move on to my next one, which is going to be my EPS growth screen. This one, 31 names here. Our criteria: price above $10, market cap above 2 billion, revenue growth quarterly year over year. I'm looking for 15% here. So same way we set up the last one with 100%, except this time I'm going 15%. And now I'm going to look for 100% earnings growth. So EPS diluted growth quarterly year over year, 100% or more. Again, 500,000 shares traded on average and price above the 200 SMA. We'll take all of those, add those into that same screen's watch list. And then this next one, we have a trailing 12 months growth screen. Criteria for this one, again, price above $10, market cap above 2 billion. Now here I'm looking for my EPS trailing 12 months year over year, 50% growth. I'm looking for revenue growth for the trailing 12 months year over year of 25% or greater. I have a $20 million dollar volume requirement for this one. And once again, price over the 200 SMA. So we'll add all these symbols into that same watch list for the screens. The last one we have is this 2020 ROE one. So as always, price over $10, market cap over $2 billion. I have quarterly year over year growth for earnings of 20%, revenue growth quarterly year over year of 20%. I have the return on equity for the fiscal year of 0% or higher. And then I'm looking for, again, average volume of 500,000 shares over the last 30 days with price above the 200 SMA. So we'll add all of these into that same list. So now I've gone through those screens. You can see I have 121 names in that list that we've picked up. So now if I go to products and let's go to the charts, got my weekly setup pulled up here. I can go into this list. I can sort it. Let's do it by name. Now what I'm going to do is go through all of these symbols fairly quickly. I have my base finder indicator on my chart, which if you haven't seen the video on how to use that, I'll put a link to it in the description. It replicates the pattern recognition software in MarketSmith. So what I can do is start at the top of this list. I have base finder on. It's going to show me different basing patterns, tight weeks, and I'm just going to hit the space bar and I can go through very quickly and find something that I like. If I don't see it, I just hit the space bar and keep moving on. So once you finally see something that catches your eye, for example, say this Appfolio did, I just right click and then I'm going to add this to another watch list that is favorites. And then from there, I'll just keep going. And then once I've gone through all of these and I have all of the stocks that caught my eye into that favorites watch list, I'll go through there on a daily chart and I'll go through and look for setups and get my pivot points and different things like that. So that's how you use the Screener 2.0 and how I can quickly go through these just with my base finder indicator, using the space bar to quickly filter through each one of the names in that list. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later.